relax. And I'm praying this whole time, right? I'm praying this whole time. And I just hear God telling me to be still. Just be still. And then somebody sent me a Bible verse about being still. Then I'm scrolling on Facebook and I see a ring for sale that says be still on it. And I'm like, okay, God, I got the message. I'm going to be still. Now, I thought that message meant be still because I'm going to restore the marriage. So that's what I thought be still meant, because why else would God want me to be still if he wasn't going to restore the marriage? So I start fasting and praying for my marriage to be restored. And he sends me
Hey guys, hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So I was scrolling on YouTube and came across this video of this lady who pretty much got cheated on, and she went through some stuff in her marriage, and pretty much she finally left and now is doing so much better. But as she was telling her story, one thing that stuck out to me is she kept mentioning prayer and praying pretty much that her marriage would work out. She mentioned that God spoke to her in so many ways and told her to be still. And she took God saying be still as staying in the marriage to work it out. The amount of times I've heard women who are in really bad marriages say things like, I'm gonna pray it out, I'm gonna fast it out, it's gonna get better. It's just really, it frustrates me. Because I posted a video about the Tina Campbell story where she literally saw this guy over and over cheat on her. This guy was having multiple kids with different women and kept doing it, but she still stayed. And then later on, I was reading that the mom went through the same things. So, and this lady was also mentioning that. So this is almost like a generational thing where people stay around in marriages that are just not good. And when it gets really bad, they're like, oh, go to church and go pray about it. Yes, God is amazing and you can pray through anything. And he can help you out. But sometimes it's God will help you out to get out of something that's no longer serving you, that's no longer making you happy, that's causing your chaos in your life. And I'm for this. Yes, God doesn't want divorce like people say, okay? But some people really need to just call it quits and be done with it. And when people actually leave marriages when they've noticed that it's not working, I mean, people will be all over them telling them divorce is not an option. But that's better than actually staying in something until you are pretty much being stepped on like a doormat. Because literally the amount of times this guy was just doing his stuff and would come back to her and he's like, can we at least be friends? Can we work it out? But you're over here with your side chick traveling and doing all this stuff in front of your kids. But she kept taking him back. And then later on she mentioned that she had abandonment issues. And now it was like making sense. So at the end of the day, God is amazing. And you can pray to God for anything. But there's times when I think God is telling you. I think when God said for her to be still, God was telling her to be still, calm down and let it go. Be okay with it and move on. You know what I mean? So I feel like with religion, you can interpret something to mean whatever it is for you. And I think at this point, that's what God was telling her, to be still, calm down, don't fight it, let it go. And I'm glad that she finally did that, because she's doing so much better instead of staying in something that is just was making her life really bad. Like you could see that her face, her look, she had just really gone through it. You know what I mean? She let herself go. Like you could see in the video, like she was just really looking like it was chaotic. And this guy got to a point where he was just playing games with her. Like, you're always going to be here. And she keeps up saying things like, oh, at the end of the day, he's not a bad guy. Okay. But even the daughters were like, I knew you were you're not happy. Like her daughters were telling her that she was never happy in the marriage. And so people stick around and keep saying like, oh, just pray it out. And you know, you should never get married to be divorced. But hey, you know, I'm for, if things are not working out, you have to just peacefully let it go. If there's kids involved, figure out a co-parenting situation. But this whole thing where it's like people are fasting and praying and going to revivals for bad marriages, I don't understand it. You know, it's something that I just refuse. And you guys know for a long time, I never really wanted to be married because I saw bad marriages around me. And I was like, if that's what I'm going to, I'd rather not. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm really strong on, if something's not working, you have to let it go. You cannot stay for the kids. You cannot stay because your church said so, or pray it away and fast away and hope that it gets better. Because especially if somebody's showing you over and over that they're not trying to work on it, like it just, it really bothers me, guys.